Welcome to Sports News. FIFA says it will not recognize Chris Giwa as the president of the Nigeria Football Federation, the NFF. In a letter sent to the NFF General Secretary Musa Amadu, FIFA nullified the election of Tuesday, August the 26th, as it did not comply with the statutes of the NFF. FIFA asks Chris Giwa and other members elected to move out of the NFF office by midnight of Monday, September 1st. The World Soccer Governing Body threatens to ban Nigeria at the expiration of the deadline if the government keeps recognizing Chris Giwa as the NFF president. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Football Federation has allayed fears over a letter from FIFA threatening to ban the country. NFF President Chris Giwa said the federation will relay a detailed and convincing response to the world body on Monday next week. Giwa insisted that the election that brought him to office is in line with the statutes of the body. He recalled that the NFF General Assembly had, at its meeting in November 2013, decided that elective Congress would take place on August 26, 2014. All tiers of the Nigeria Football League have been suspended with immediate effect. This is sequel to the withdrawal of services by the Nigeria Referees Association from all Nigeria Football Federation organized tournaments. The referees are protesting the lingering leadership crisis rocking the NFF. The Players' Union has also directed its members to stay away from league games. They insist that league action will not resume until the crisis concerning football has been resolved. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) says Côte d'Ivoire will be disqualified from the 2015 AFCON qualifiers if they forfeit their game against Sierra Leone because of the Ebola virus disease. The Ivorian government has already announced it will not allow the match, which is settled for September the 6th in Abidjan, to go ahead. Sierra Leone is one of 6 nations with cases of Ebola, and the Ivorian government is concerned that the deadly virus could be brought into the country. In an attempt to minimize any risk, Sierra Leone have named a squad of players based outside their country. And two-time champion Venus Williams has crashed out of the ongoing 2014 US Open. The American slipped to a 7-6 defeat against Italy's Sara Errani in a topsy-turvy encounter. Mijana Lucic Baroni stunned world number 2 Simona Halep 7-6, 6-2 to move into the 4th round. Germany's Angelique Kerber capped up a disappointing day for top seeds as she fell 1-6, 5-7 to Belinda Bencic of Switzerland. Well, that's it on Sports News. The News at 10 continues in a moment.
Over now to the foreign scene, where there is plenty of drama unfolding as regards Ukraine, because NATO has issued Russia and accused them of blatant violations of Ukraine's sovereignty and engaging in direct military operations to support pro-Russian rebels. Here's Cynthia Are with that story.
Well, that's certainly the case, and the Secretary General has reiterated that despite whole denials, it is now glaring more than ever that Russia has illegally crossed Ukraine's border. As a result, NATO will now respect any Ukrainian decision on security after its prime minister said he was putting the country on course for NATO membership. Also today, the United Nations Refugee Agency has confirmed that more than 3 million Syrians are now registered as refugees. As if that's not bad enough, the agency has also confirmed that the crisis is escalating and not improving in the least. As a result, Syria now faces the biggest humanitarian emergency of this era, with almost half of the Syrians having been forced to flee their homes. Then the Islamic State militant group, also known as IS, is no longer just a threat to Syria and Iraq, but countries like the United Kingdom. The new alert level means an attack on the United Kingdom is highly likely, although there's no intelligence to suggest an attack is imminent.
The increase in the threat level is related to developments in Syria and Iraq, where terrorist groups are planning attacks on the West. Some of those plots are likely to involve foreign fighters who have travelled there from the UK and Europe to take part in the conflict. The first and most important duty of government is the protection of the British people.
Finally, it's Judgment Day for 4 men who have been found guilty of trying to murder Rwanda's former army chief, General Faustin Nyamwasa, in South Africa back in June 2010. Another 2 suspects, including the alleged ringleader and the general's former driver, were acquitted. General Nyamwasa was shot and wounded outside of his home in Johannesburg. And that's the foreign news wrap-up. It's back to you, John.
Thanks a lot, Cynthia. And on entertainment news, Nollywood Yoruba meets Nollywood English on Iyabo Ojo's Beyond Disability. Here's Victoria Ido with the details.
On the entertainment news tonight, after weeks of light, camera and action, the cast and crew members of the yet-to-be-released romantic drama Oasis have gathered again. This time it is for an exclusive preview of the product they have held sleepless nights over. The series employed a lot of new talents, with some of them making their first major television appearance. Legendary disc jockey Jimmy Jott has been speaking about the state of mainstream music in the country. In an exclusive interview with Channels Television, the DJ, who just celebrated his 25th anniversary in the industry, disagreed with critics who have labeled the industry monotonous, saying it only appears so because certain songs are played at the wrong time.
What people refer to as lack of content in music is when you play the songs at the wrong time. I mean, if you're in a sober mood and you just need songs to, you know, lift you up, and you're playing a song that is meant for a nightclub, then you're playing the wrong song at the wrong time.
And back to Nollywood, it's another busy day for director and actor Desmond Elliott, as he moves to the set of Iyabo Ojo's Beyond Disability. This production brings together practitioners from different genres of Nollywood. Femi Adebayo and Iyabo Ojo from the Yoruba film language arm are sharing the set with Iniedo and Desmond Elliott from the English arm of Nollywood.
Action! Impossible! Impossible! There's no blindness in my family, and that's not possible!
And in Hollywood, super couple Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have finally taken their marriage vows. The Mr. and Mrs. married in France recently, following a 2-year engagement to end nearly a decade of fevered tabloid speculation over whether the pair would ever tie the knot. The quiet civil ceremony was held at the couple's estate in southeastern France. And that's a wrap on the entertainment news. It's back to you, Ijoma.
Thanks a lot, Victoria. And the main news again. The federal government today lifted the suspension on residency training for doctors in all federal hospitals. Chief medical directors and directors of training centers have been directed to issue reinstatement letters to the resident doctors. Also today, the Health Minister, Professor Onyebuchi Chukwu, established a national response team to check outbreaks of the deadly Ebola virus disease amid concerns over threats it continues to pose. And more than 3 million people have become refugees as the Syrian crisis worsens. Well, that's the news at 10 tonight. Thanks so much for staying with us. Metrofile is up next, followed by Focus on Africa. I'm Ijoma Onyato. Do have a great weekend. Good night.